Hey Cassandra, this is Sydney. I wanted to check in to make sure you can hear us.
Hi, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Wonderful, we can hear you as well. We're just waiting a few more minutes and we're going to get started.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
We ready? Perfect. Good evening. It is now 6:01, and I'm calling the regular meeting to order. If staff would please take roll call.
Oh. I believe we were going to do the Chair, Kendall, the oath of office first before roll call.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I know.
Hello. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Ryan Rabb. Repeat after me, sir. I, Ryan Rabb, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona and the ordinances of the town of Gilbert, Maricopa County, Arizona, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office of a Town of Gilbert Redevelopment Commission member in Gilbert, Arizona, according to the best of my ability, so help me God. Good job, sir. You're sworn in. Sign away, please.
All right. We'll just have you sign this one here. Yep. So just your name and the date, and then we'll have you go up to the dais.
Ready for round two? All right. It is now 6:04, and I'm calling the regular meeting to order. If staff would please take roll call.
Chair Kendall,
Here.
Vice Chair Updike,
Here.
Commissioner Baugh, Commissioner Bigelow, Commissioner Clausen. Here. Commissioner Rabb.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, members of the public may comment on matters not on the agenda. The commission's response is limited to responding to criticism, asking staff to review a matter commented upon, or asking that matter to be put on a future agenda. Are there any communications from citizens at this time?
Yes, there is one communication, Chair.
Perfect. Dorlise, are you available for comment?
Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for your service. My name is Dorlise Machado Liddell, and I'm a resident of the Heritage District and Lacey Track. I know I'm not supposed to comment on what's coming before you. However, I am commenting on comments that were made during a study session in regards to the project. I am invested in Lacey Track, and I live in the neighborhood. The 2018 Heritage District Plan, which the town would say it is only a guideline. However, the town has used the plan to justify the Heritage District design guidelines, which were codified in an ordinance, which I believe is government overreach. However, that's not the point. The South Anchor project is not by right. It is a development agreement that the town council has approved with stipulations. I would like to address some comments that were made regarding, does this project pencil in? I would say that a developer competed for the development agreement and provided the proposal knowing the cost associated. I would also like to point out that it also is in an opportunity zone. So the developer is provided incentives by the government to build an opportunity zone. I, as a private property owner, I don't have that ability. So this is an extra incentive for developers to develop and redevelopment areas and provide projects that will complement the area and lift it up. I would also like to state that the epicenter in Gilbert doesn't seem to have a problem attracting tenants. They have lower level the restaurants, and it's kind of a booming area, and they didn't have any incentives, and it wasn't a redevelopment area. The comment about this project is better than a dirt lot. Well, I will say, I would rather have a dirt lot in my neighborhood than a project that doesn't fit, that a project that is being shoehorned in because I don't really know the reasons. I would like to see a big, beautiful, mixed-use project in my neighborhood. I would not like to see another district loss in my neighborhood. I would like to see something that would fit in to the neighborhood. So I also want to remind people that I will have no longer the ability to speak, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dorlise. Sydney, are there any more comments from the public?
No more comments, Chair.
Thank you. We'll now move into administrative items. Consider approval for the regular for the regular meeting held on May 21st, 2025. Are there any edits the commission wishes to make? Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the May meeting. Please vote now.
I vote to approve.
Are we good?
Chair, I think we still need yours. There we go.
Sorry about that. All right, the minutes have
Motion
been
carries.
approved from the May meeting. Thank you. We'll now move into public hearing. Items will be heard at one public hearing, at which time anyone wishing to comment on public hearing item may do so. Comments will be heard from those in support of or in opposition to an item. In order to comment on a public hearing item, you must fill out a public comment form indicating the item number of which you wish to be heard. Once the hearing is closed, there'll be no further public comment unless requested by a member of the commission. After the public hearing, the commission may act on all items not requiring additional staff, public, or commission comment with a single vote. I'll now open the public hearing for UP 25-15 South Anchor. Kristen, would you please be so kind to provide us a presentation?
I don't have it memorized, so we're going to have to hang on a minute.
We're having some technical difficulties, so I'm just going to grab IT to have them help us bring the presentation back up. 1 second. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, good evening, commissioners. For our new commissioner, I'm Kristen Devine. I'm a senior planner with the town of Gilbert. The case I have for you tonight is going to be for a conditional use permit for the South Anchor project. Just as a brief overview, this is just for the use permit. This is not for the design review. You will be seeing the design review come before you, I believe, next month. So the conditional use permit this evening is going to be for ground floor residential. So the site is located at the northwest corner of Gilbert and Elliott. It's approximately 2.8 acres. Before we jump into it, it's important to highlight a handful of items from the development agreement to keep in mind in pertaining to the residential concept. Horizontal mixed use is an acceptable concept with clear integration and single-phase development. I know previously we've talked about vertical mixed use. We need a minimum of 175 to 203 residential units. Ground floor residential will, or should only be considered on the north, west, and internal east elevations to the site. And any elevations along Ash Street, the west elevation, should be of a brownstone style with, at minimum, front doors facing ash, courtyard stoops, and or row home-like attributes. All right, so this evening the request again is for ground floor residential. The ground floor residential units are proposed to be located along the west, north, and internal east elevations. No ground floor units will be along Gilbert or Elliott Roads. The Ash Street ground floor units are required to be a brownstone style. For context, this is the site plan of the entire development. It'll contain 2 buildings, your residential structure and your commercial structure, with a parking structure wrapped by residential. The residential will contain studio, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom options. There are 175 units proposed, and then is 14,600 square feet of commercial proposed as well. Between the two is a Paseo-style walkway that will connect them together. And for a better understanding of where those proposed ground floor units are, I've provided the first floor plan for you. There are 31 ground floor units proposed, a vast majority of those being 1-bedrooms. There are a handful of studios, a 2-bedroom. Again, there's 175 total units, and there are 10,860 square feet of residential indoor amenities, many of those also located on the ground floor. All right, and then just as a reminder, these are the elevations that I provided in the study session back in May. We have not received a new submittal at this time, but I know the applicant has been working to remedy some of the comments that they received, and we should be receiving a new submittal shortly. However, I don't have that yet, so I wanted to provide you something to remind you of the elevations. All right, and just some 3D versions of the last submittal that we received. These are renderings of the commercial concept. These will be modified slightly when the design review comes before you, just to accommodate the comments that they've received. And then for a conditional use permit, there are 4 findings of fact that need to be met in order to be eligible for a use permit. I've listed them here for you. They were also found in your staff report. Not going to linger on this one too long, but just wanted to throw those up there. All right, and then with that, it is staff's recommendation that the Redevelopment Commission provides the Planning Commission a recommendation of approval for this project to permit the ground floor residential. And with that, I am available for any questions, and I believe the applicant also has a presentation if you would like to hear from them too.
Absolutely.
Do you have any questions for me?
Commissioners, do you have any questions before we hear from the applicant? Hearing none, we'll turn it over to the applicant.
Perfect. Good evening, Chair and Commission. My name is Alex Hayes from the law firm Withy Morris Baugh, 2525 East Arizona Biltmore Circle. Filling in tonight for your RDC colleague Adam Baugh. And here on behalf of Keeley Properties, I'm happy to be discussing this project. I think staff did a great job of kind of discussing the request before you tonight and the project as a whole. And I know you're all very familiar with this project and this property, so I'm not going to belabor the presentation, but this, South Anchor site and this project is a very important component of the Heritage District and really the town. This property is kind of the southern gateway into the Heritage District, and Keeley was very fortunate to be awarded the RFP when that was released in 2021. And that RFP included some pretty specific parameters about what this project would look like, and that has since been memorialized in the development agreement for this project. And Keeley's been working very closely with staff to kind of conceptualize and design this project. And I think they've created a really very high quality urban mixed use project, and this will include of course, the multifamily apartments with that wrapped around the parking garage and the commercial component to have that mixed-use activation, as well as some additional Heritage District signage. The site is zoned HVC. It's a general plan designation of HVC, which is why we're before you at the RDC with this request. Specifically, we'll have, South Anchor project will have 175 multifamily units. In that parking garage, 360, well, in the whole site, 368 parking spaces. There's some surface parking, and some parking available for the public as well in the garage. And then, of course, the commercial component, which includes about 5,500 square feet of retail, and then a little over 9,000 square feet of that restaurant and bar, which is located at the hard corner of Gilbert and Elliott. And then that restaurant use will have a rooftop element, which is per the development agreement limited to about 50% of the roof area. As Kristen mentioned, we are really just discussing the conditional use permit tonight. We will be back before you in a few weeks to discuss the design review submittal, which is, the site plan and the more specific design elements. But this agenda item is just about the ground floor units, which, as you know, in the HVC district is permitted, but with a conditional use permit. So this project has 31 ground floor units. Those are located, 9 of which are on Ash Street, 11 on that north alley, and then there are some additional ground floor units internal to the site. But this ground floor residential component has kind of always been anticipated for this project, contemplated in the RFP, and now in the development agreement. But I do think it's important to note that there will be no ground floor units on the major arterials on Gilbert Road and Elliott Road. For a CUP, there are those 4 findings of fact, so essentially 4 criteria. The first being that there's no negative impact to the health and general welfare of the residents in the surrounding area. And of course, this project will not have any negative impact. These bottom floor units really strengthen the walkable character of this area. They're placed away from those major arterial roads, and I think importantly they each have, and again detailed in the development agreement, have kind of an exterior stoop for these ground floor units, so they're kind of activating that pedestrian experience and enabling that kind of connection to the street and to the neighboring units. It's also consistent with the general plan and the goals and policies for the town, encouraging, I think staff highlighted this well, encourages high quality residential, creates that urban walkable experience, promotes the mixed use development in the village core, and again, expanding the opportunities for residents to connect socially with that kind of pedestrian experience. Conforms to the LDC requirements. Again, this is a permitted use in the HVC district with a conditional use permit, consistent with the development agreement and the RFP, and this has been designed in close coordination with staff, and I think is why you're seeing their recommendation of approval for this CUP. And then lastly, won't interfere with the reasonable use and enjoyment of nearby properties. And these ground floor units have been designed, again, per the development agreement, to be compatible with that existing, or that neighboring residential, designed to be kind of have a more brownstone townhome look and feel. Again, with that stoop element, creating kind of activation on the sidewalk and that pedestrian experience, and creates more compatibility with those existing residential, and particularly the Lacey tract. So just to sum up, this CUP, specifically to the ground floor residential, it's consistent with the LDC, consistent with general plan, and is consistent with and has always been contemplated by the RFP and the development agreement. We'll create that kind of activated, energetic experience that is kind of what they were looking for with the look, feel, and overall vibe of the Heritage District. And we're grateful for staff's recommendation of approval. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Alex. Are there any questions for Alex? All right. Hearing none, staff, are there any members of the public in attendance who wish to speak upon UP 25-12 South Anchor?
Yes, Chair, they are.
Thank you. Mark Horn.
Chair, Commissioners, my name is Mark Horn, live in Gilbert on Heritage District in Lacey Tract. Actually, my house is on Washington Street near the Boys and Girls Club. So from my front door, or front yard, we'll be able to see the apartment complex that's going to be built on this complex. We're not opposed to it. We are supportive of the South Anchor being developed, but what we do ask is that it be developed in a way that will blend in with the neighborhood, that will be fitting of that property. And I do want to share that we watched the last Redevelopment Commission meeting, and we were pleased by the comments of the commission members. Many of you spoke about some concerns you had for the site, and we shared those same concerns. We want it to be an attractive development. We want it to fit in with the neighborhood. It should be a signature piece for the Heritage District. It's one of the most important pieces of land in the town, still undeveloped. And we just ask that town staff, yourself, the Gilbert Council, continue to push this developer to make it an attractive development. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Doralice?
My name is Doralice Machado Liddell. I would just like to say that I agree, and I thank the Redevelopment Commission members who did speak out, because I think that this project really looks like a Lego project that's gone bad. I've observed the Town Council, the Redevelopment, and the Planning Commission attend working groups, and they were given Legos, and they were given a parcel of land, and it resembled the South Anchor. So when I look at it, I look at a bunch of Legos built up without any real design. And I hope that that does change. I also call for a little transparency in the next meetings where the development agreement is within the proposal and we can see it, so there's transparency as to what the town has agreed upon. I also like to know, and I want to clarify, finding fact number 2, I do not believe that it has been met. It doesn't meet the Town Council approved development agreement that requires a brownstone design on the west-facing elevation of Ash Street. I say that because we're here not for design, but we're here for residential on the first floor. However, in change 4, it states, well, I would like to have change 4 of the recommendation changed. I would request that they remove row-like attributes to brownstone design, which reflects the development agreement. I would like to see that, because the development agreement, according to page 4 in this document, states the west-facing elevation Ash Street shall be of a brownstone design. I don't know where row-like attributes came from. I don't even know what it really looks like. I would also like to know, has a traffic study been done? How is the local alley being utilized? Where did the row houses come from? It's not compatible with the development in the vicinity. Where's the entrance of Elliott Road? Where does it exit? Does the parking support the retail offices, employee parking? And is that taken into consideration? There are a lot of questions that need to be addressed, and it's unfortunate that the neighborhood that I don't know, maybe in 2021 they had a neighborhood meeting during COVID and they did some Teams meeting. I don't really know. I think we really need to have neighborhood meetings. And I appreciate your time, and I hope my recommendations are considered. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more public comment?
That is all.
Thank you. Does the applicant have any response they'd like to share during public testimony?
No, thank you, Chair. I think we just say that I appreciate the comments and appreciate the comments that were made at study session. And we do have a resubmittal, and we'll look forward to discussing the design when we come back for the DR.
Thank you, Alex. Are there any additional questions for town staff from the commission? No? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing on UP 25-15 South Anchor and look to the commission for discussion. Who would like to share their thoughts first?
Hi, can everyone hear me? This is Commissioner Updike.
Go ahead, Commissioner Updike.
Hi, thank you for letting me participate virtually today. I don't have any questions or concerns really with the option of the ground floor residential. I do appreciate the public comments and look forward to discussions and the presentation on design next month, but no concerns for me regarding ground floor residential. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Updike. Commissioner Clausen?
I'd like to thank, wow, that's loud. Like to thank the neighbors that came out to provide comment on the project. I would say that we were all pretty outspoken on the design last month, and I look forward to seeing the applicant's resubmittal. I do think that a lot of the renderings left a little bit to desire, and we're working with the applicant to make this a project worthy of that southern entry point into the district. We want it to be just as architecturally significant and a beautiful addition to the Heritage District as the neighborhood wants. So with that, I think, regarding the conditional use permit, I think I've got what I need, but very much look forward to the resubmittal of design.
Thank you, Commissioner Clausen. New Commissioner Rabb, would you like to?
I'd also like to thank the public for coming today and providing valuable information regarding this project. I believe a lot of the discussions that the public is talking about tonight will occur next month or with the resubmittal from the applicant. The conditional use permit, I believe, is more of an item that is specific for one thing, and it's been considered since the very beginning. So I think I have what I need to vote on the conditional use permit.
Thank you, Commissioner Rabb. Excuse me. I agree with my fellow commissioners. We've given a lot of feedback on this project. Excuse me. And we are here to talk about the conditional use permit. So are there any more comments or questions from the commission? Do I have a motion and a second for UP 25-15 South Anchor? I'll call for a vote on the motion.
I'll motion to approve UP 25-15.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Let's vote on the conditional use.
I vote to approve.
And the use permit passes 4-0. I believe that is the end of our open session. Councilmember Torgerson, do you have anything you'd like to report on current events?
Certainly. It won't be as entertaining as last time, sorry. Following a competitive recruitment process, the Office of Economic Development is excited to announce Mike Martella has been promoted to the role of Redevelopment Program Manager. Mike has been with the town for over 5 years as an Economic Development Project Manager Senior and has more than 15 years of proven success in leading strategic redevelopment initiatives, business development, and community engagement. Mike brings visionary leadership, unmatched enthusiasm, and deep expertise into this critical role. In this new capacity, Mike will continue driving impactful redevelopment efforts, fostering economic vitality, and innovating strategies that align with Gilbert's vision for prosperity and growth. Please join us in congratulating Mike on this well-deserved promotion. And earlier this month, the final traffic control box in the Heritage District received a public art wrap as part of the Community Canvas Placemaking and Public Art Initiative, which was actually discussed first 10 years ago, so it took a little while. Gilbert Elementary School was commissioned to complete the public art wrap at the traffic control box located on the north side of Elliott Road at the Hawk Crossing for Gilbert Elementary. This vibrant work of art is composed of artwork by 5 Gilbert Elementary students and their art teacher, Mrs. F. I love that. I had a Mrs. G when I was a kid. The artwork reflects the values and strengths of the school, including kindness, culture, and using your paws. A dual-language Spanish immersion school, Gilbert Elementary is an A+ school of excellence, nestled right in the heart of downtown Gilbert. And that is all that I have for you, sir.
Thank you, Councilmember Torgerson, and congratulations, Mike. We're excited to work with you. Commissioners, any updates? All right. Mike, do you have a report for us?
Just a short report. First, thank you so much for this position. I've been with the town almost 6 years now, serving in economic development. I've lived in Gilbert for the last 5 years in the Heritage District, so it holds a special place in my heart, and I really look forward to being active with our businesses, our residents, and encouraging that communication and continuing on the great work that our predecessor, Amanda, carried the torch for many years doing. So grateful for everything and this opportunity. So thank you very much. And in the spirit of continuing the shout outs, I'd like to make one and congratulate Kristen Devine as she recently received her AICP certification from the American Planning Association. This certification is a professional milestone and displays Kristen's ability as a highly qualified planner. She's been with the town for over 6 years and has served on as our Heritage District planner for nearly 4 years. So please join us in congratulating Kristen on this professional milestone. But that is all for my report.
Thank you, Mike. Congratulations, Kristen. Well deserved. Thank you all. I will take a motion to adjourn our meeting.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
My second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. I don't even think we got a vote on this. All right, meeting is now adjourned. It is 6:36. The Redevelopment Commission meeting is adjourned. Thank you.